So, after two open practices, how has Bo Nix looked so far in training camp? I gotta say, there has been a lot of things that have been really, really good. I'm talking about all the selling points from Bo Nix coming out of college. His ability to anticipate throws, his ability to throw on time, in rhythm, in structure in the play, his ability to scramble out. He's got some really good wheels. Again, I'm not the hugest fan of scrambling during practice period, but he does have good wheels. That is something that will translate to the actual game periods. It's just during 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, I'd rather you be a little bit more testy, actually trying to squeeze a throw into tight coverage, because these are the periods where you can kind of learn what you can and can't get away with, essentially. But regardless of that, pretty much every box that Bo Nix has needed to check in training camp so far, he has checked. Now, that's not to say it's been completely perfect. There has been some timing issues with receivers. He's just sometimes wanted to put the ball in one certain spot. The receiver will be in a different spot in their route. That happened today where Bo Nix put a beautifully timed back shoulder fade right in the spot where he wanted it for Lucas Kroll, but Kroll had some issues adjusting to it because he was anticipating the ball coming from the other direction. I believe Bo Nix made the right decision there, but honestly, it was one of those situations where he just needs to build that chemistry and that timing. That will come as the reps increase for Bo Nix. However, again, there's been a lot of really beautiful stuff. Today, for example, he ended up throwing 3 touchdowns on the day after throwing a pretty ugly interception, just to be honest. The interception was on a wheel route to Greg Dulcich. It got jumped, and it probably would have been close to a pick six in game conditions, but he was able to shake that off. The interception was by Levi Wallace, by the way. He shook off that interception and then went on to throw 3 touchdowns after that. One of them was a perfectly placed pylon route to Javonte Williams in the end zone. The other one was to the back of the end zone in stride on a crosser to Greg Dulcich. And then the other one was on a sprint out right to Samaje Perine. That one was also during red zone period. Bo Nix was able to shake off the bad play that he had, and then he had several other positive plays on the day that doesn't completely cancel out the interception, but it certainly makes it look a lot better in the quote-unquote stat sheet. And at the end of the day, he was able to learn from that mistake that he made on the interception, and I'm confident that he's not going to make that same mistake again. I haven't seen Bo Nix make the same mistake multiple times in camp so far, which is also something that you really do want to see. As time goes on, he's going to get more and more comfortable and mature with the timing of his receivers' routes. He's going to get a lot more comfortable and mature just in the offense in general, and that's going to help him kind of eliminate some of these bad plays that we're seeing early on, which, even though they may be bad negative plays, I'm not grading them negatively because all of them are learning opportunities, and it seems like Bo Nix is able to learn and shake off all of that right away, and that's exactly what you want to see from a young quarterback. I'm really, really pleased with what we've seen from Bo Nix so far. As far as the other quarterbacks are concerned, this is a Bo Nix video, but Jarrett Stidham has been consistent throughout camp, but I'm not going to say it's been consistently impressive. He's very safe, conservative, takes everything underneath. Bo Nix is at least willing to push the ball downfield at times, and then Zach Wilson, he pushes the ball downfield way too much to his detriment. That is the main problem with Zach Wilson, is that he panics even if his reads are open underneath. Like, on day one, the Broncos were running a mesh concept, which is 2 shallow crossing routes and then a sit route about 10 yards over the ball. I gotta be honest, all 3 of those routes looked open to me. Zach didn't like it for whatever reason. He scrambled out and he threw the ball away. That's not great. That's showing that his processing and his overall just understanding of the playbook still isn't quite there. And that's why I feel like Zach Wilson needs to take some time to sit back and learn and grow and develop as a player. And the best way to do that is to have him be the emergency third string quarterback. He'll dress on game days. He can still prepare like he's the starter. He'll probably get scout team reps, which is going to be a good thing for him. And then if he has to get on the field God forbid, because that would mean both Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham got injured. But if he has to get on the field, he'll at least be a little bit more prepared than he was last year when he had to get on the field 4 snaps into the season when Aaron Rodgers' Achilles blew out. So that's kind of where things stand in the quarterback competition right now. Bo Nix is still swimming, if you will. He's finding his way, but there's a lot of good stuff there, and he looks like he's a little bit further ahead in his development than most rookie quarterbacks are, and that's very good news. Zach Wilson, again, he just needs time, and that's okay. I know a lot of people think I hate Zach Wilson. I don't. I think Zach Wilson's a really cool dude. I think he just needs some time to mature, grow, and get better as a football player. And I just don't think he's ready to start. He doesn't give the Denver Broncos the best chance to win football games. And if Sean Payton wasn't willing to stick with Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson's negative plays are Russell Wilson's negative plays turned up to 100. And he doesn't offer some of the same upside that Russell Wilson did in terms of the deep ball accuracy and stuff like that. That's why I feel like if Sean Payton wasn't willing to accept that with Russell Wilson, I don't think he's going to accept it with Zach Wilson. That's just how I feel. I hope Zach Wilson proves me wrong because I really like the kid. I loved the kid coming out of BYU. I thought that he was a guy who had the potential to be really, really good in the NFL, but things just didn't work out that way for one reason or another. Bo Nix, I still believe will be the starter week 1, but I'm also not going to panic if he's not the starter week 1 either. If the Broncos feel like Jarrett Stidham gives them the best chance for the first couple of weeks and they don't want to throw Bo out there and expose him too quickly, that's okay. But if we get to week 8, the Broncos are struggling to win football games and Bo Nix hasn't seen the field yet, that's when I'm going to become concerned about Bo Nix's development in the NFL. I'm curious, Broncos country, what week do you feel like would be the most appropriate to insert Bo Nix into the starting lineup if he's not the starter right out the gate? The Broncos do have a bit of a tough schedule, but I do feel like there is an opportunity to insert Bo Nix, and that is week 3 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You get that week 1 game up in Seattle, a very tough place to play, out of the way. Then you get the Russell Wilson return game out of the way. A lot of emotions going to be surrounding that game. Week 3 in Tampa, that seems like a good opportunity to put Bo in there. Yes, it's against a Todd Bowles defense who's historically made life difficult for a rookie quarterback, but I think Bo Nix has the ability to figure that out, and it's not going to get any easier from there. You got Robert Saleh and the Jets the following week. Then you've got, obviously, the Raiders, Max Crosby, a really, really terrifying pass rusher after that. You've got the Chargers after that. So it's just probably the best opportunity, in my opinion, for the Broncos to insert Bo Nix into the starting lineup somewhere probably around week 3 if he doesn't start week 1. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are 2 free and easy ways to show your support. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.